Al, it's time to make a brief pit stop into the land of filler again.
Yay!
But only for one episode this time, it seems like. Well, actually, I don't know. I should check and see if the next episode actually is
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, it's okay. It is actual stuff.
It's actually
Look, it could have been some weird filler. Who knows?
No, you're right.
It
It seemed like it from the preview that it would be plot related, but you never know with this. You never know. Choo choo.
That is true. Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Jared Now Watch Inuyasha. It is episode number 69. Nice.
Nice.
I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc Hal and Ladium.
Hello, hello.
We are discussing Season 3, Episode 14, or Episode 68, entitled Shippo Gets an Angry Challenge. Boy, howdy does he ever.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
This is a goofy episode.
Yeah.
Which I think it works really well, because a lot of times when you get filler episodes, they can vary in quality, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of what they bring to the table and everything, and how they try and present a story that may not necessarily be canonical or, something from the original source material or anything like that. They just kind of go off in a real goofy direction, which again, I think is also something that can be varying of quality in terms of like humorous filler episodes, because sometimes they try and overdo it and it just comes off as real lame.
Yeah.
But I think this one worked real well in terms of just like it being just super silly and not taking itself seriously in the slightest.
It was goofy.
But yeah, we get Shippo. He's walking. He is he's the man in this episode. He gets a dual invitation from the last remaining member of the Thunder Brother clan. And he's very worried because he's like, "Oh God, I don't know I don't know how to fight these people. Oh no. The rest of the gang read it and are like, "Huh, that's weird. Why would they want to fight you, Shippo? Inuyasha's the one who beat him up. That's real weird."
Real weird.
Anyways, I guess let's just head off to the place to go, and we'll figure it out. We meet our antagonist of this episode, Soten, who is chit-chatting with a cloud who turns out to be a little tiny dragon with a little small mustache.
Little small mustache. Also, we were talking about whether or not Shippo is actually literate and how Inuyasha is 1,000% illiterate.
Yeah, because the letter is written in Japanese, which obviously, languages exist in this time period and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But like you said, literacy was not necessarily a guarantee as it is today.
Right, and like it usually depended on your class status and all that, and yeah, we just both decided Inuyasha is illiterate. Shippo maybe knows a little bit because Kagome maybe has been teaching him. That's our headcanon. We're sticking to it.
I agree. Soten has a plan to fight against Shippo. They're gonna fight dirty.
Yeah, because everybody else is too tough.
Mm-hmm. That is how it goes. Inuyasha's just like very upset with Shippo because he will not move. It's just like walking in place essentially the whole time. There was a good scene before this where like Moroku and Sangha were like, "Hey, we could help you if you pony up some stuff for us. We'll help you out there, buddy."
I would like to meet a pretty girl.
Sangha's just like, "Give me some money and I'll help." I'm down. Yeah,
What's
and then
gonna use money on?
I don't know. Repairing her boomerang. I guess. Who knows? Inuyasha, like I said, he eventually gets upset with Shippo not moving, so he just takes out his sword and just starts pushing him forward. While Shippo does not want to move forward at all, is just very upset. We learn about Soten and Kyoryu's well thought out plans, which first starts off with they're going to roll a giant boulder down and split the two of them, split Shippo away from the rest of the group.
Yep.
So that's how they work. There's also these very well drawn drawings of the rest of the gang. It's just all of them looking very angry.
I love the drawings in this. I think that's the best part of this episode.
Yeah, it's real good. So Koryu, the little dragon, throws down a big boulder. the rest of the gang get out of the way, and Shippo decides to just get chased by it, and it's like, oh yeah, I can just transform. What am I doing?
Float?
Transforms and then gets caught in the net. And he's like, please help me.
No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So Shippo has been captured. Moroku, everyone kind of splits off to try and find Shippo. Moroku and Sango are in the air looking for him, and Kyoryu's like down, like nesting some smoke, and is like their plan for Moroku and Sango is Kirara is basically a giant cat and will love catnip.
Yep.
So they're birding catnip, and then as soon as they walk in or fly into that, Kirara is like, oh heck yeah, let's get that, and it just like goes straight down there, and then immediately just curls up into a ball and sleeps.
In the small mode.
In the small mode, it was very good.
Yeah, I was like, that's very cat-like.
And then the plan for Moroku and Sango is that Moroku is lecherous and just wants all the ladies. Sango is trying to prevent that from happening, so they'll use that to their advantage to trap those two. So they have this like doll set up of a woman, and Kyoryu's just like, oh help me please, I'm trapped. And Sango's like, yo, this is probably a trap. And Moroku's like, I do not care if it is a trap. I must be a helpful person. And then they both walk over to this doll, and then the ground beneath them just falls in, and they fall to the ground. And at the end of, like, once they're on the ground, Sango's just like, I told you it was a trap. And Moroku's like, my bad.
And the head falls off of the little doll.
Yeah. We go to the castle, and Shippo and Soten meet, and Shippo is surprised that Soten is just a child, and then they just get mad at each other and like just do childish things towards each other. They get in a war of drawings. Shippo shows off crayons, and Soten's like, oh, what's this crayon? And Shippo's like,
these are mine.
These are my crayons. If you let me go, I'll give them to you. And Soten's like, no, I'm going to kill you. This is not how this works. And they just have like just a giant stalemate.
Mm-hmm.
Kyoryu's now doing his final trap for Kagome and Inuyasha, which essentially is Kagome and Inuyasha are always together. If we can use Kagome's sit command, we will just take Inuyasha out of the equation and we'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a doll of Kagome set up, and just it runs in front of them and just yells, sit, Inuyasha, sit, and it just does nothing. And Kyoryu's like, why does this do anything? And Inuyasha's like, is that supposed to be Kagome? And Kagome's like, is this supposed to be me?
She's so mad.
So Kyoryu gets kidnapped by Inuyasha and bopped on the head a couple of times. And he's like, oh no, please don't hit me on the head one more time. That would definitely not be a bad thing or anything. And Kagome like initially talks him out of it, but then afterwards Kyoryu just like starts talking more smack and makes Inuyasha mad, so he bonks him. And for whatever reason, this turns a dragon into a cloud that can rain down lightning and arrows at them.
If he gets bonked 3 times.
Yes, if he gets bonked in the head 3 times, that's how that works. So they're in trouble now. Shippo and Soten are having a duel in front of the place where Soten lives, essentially. Where they're just firing off their attacks at each other and just like, huh, you're a lot stronger than I thought you were. Yeah, you too.
Throwing out crying mushrooms and laughing acorns.
Yep. Just toys.
Toys. They're throwing toys at each other.
It's real good.
It's real good. At one point, like, Inuyasha in that attack like throws his shirt off to Kagome to like protect her. And I did like the whole like he gets hit by an arrow to protect her at one point. He's like, that didn't hurt at all.
Yeah. There's like a giant arrow that's about to come in and attack Kagome, and Inuyasha jumps in front of it, and like he looks like he's down and out. And then he just like wakes up and is like, hey, wait, hang on. And Kagome's like, you're okay, right? He's like, yeah, I didn't feel a thing. It was weird.
Poke yourself in the hand with this.
Yeah, here, just poke yourself in the hand with this. And she just takes it and goes, oh, you're right. This isn't her. I mean, this would be great for my shoulders. Man, get those knots out.
This is wild. This poor dragon.
Kyoryu's like, what do you mean? That's supposed to do damage. What's going on?
This poor little dragon. Does his best. He's not a snake.
Yeah. And then he gets bonked 3 more times to get back to dragon form, and then Kyoryu just leads them to Soten's castle, where Soten and Shippo are just like exhausted and just like, oh, Inuyasha, you're alive. And then Soton's like, Koryu, you failed our plan. Koryu's like, yeah, I
And then
failed.
Kagome's like, oh my God, you're so cute. Let me just pick you up and hold you. I was like,
Yeah.
Kagome, please, you don't just pick people up. That's rude.
Kagome's like, oh, you're such a cute boy. And Soton's like, I'm a girl. And Kagome's like, huh? Oh, you're so cute. And Shippo's like, oh, you're a girl. Oh, I'm out of here. And then
Here's my crayons, though.
He gives her the crayons like, yeah, don't be a bad kid. I gotta go.
So funny.
So they all meet up with Roku and Sango, who are getting pulled out of the hole because Kirara is now woken up and is like holding a vine for them to climb out. And they're just like, what are you guys doing in the hole? And then Shippo's just like monologuing about how he's just like, oh, yes, another day in the life of Shippo.
What a tough battle for me.
What a tough battle for me. And then Inuyasha's like, will you stop monologuing?
Bonk. And then starts crying.
Yeah, and then he gets down. Inuyasha gets downed. Also, there's a shot of Soten drawing, and she draws like an older shoujo version of Shippo, and it's very good and funny.
Very good.
Oh man. What a dumb, goofy episode.
What a dumb, goofy episode. It was fun though.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this episode.
This is one of the better filler episodes we've gotten.
I agree. Let's talk about some notes real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, did you know this episode is anime only?
What?
Kyoryu was able to gather correct intel about Inuyasha's group.
Smart little dragon.
With the exception of how to incapacitate Inuyasha, Soten's plans proved very successful. It's not wrong.
That's true, actually.
Shippo was able to outwit Soten. He successfully tricked her into letting him out of the cage.
He's feeling just fine.
Shippo is shown to see himself as the leader of the group and as a brave warrior.
He does call them his vassals at one point, I think.
Yes. The mighty Shippo traveling with his vassals Inuyasha and the gang.
That's so funny.
The error about this episode is that Sango and Moroku already know about the Thunder Brothers. At the beginning of the series, they weren't there at the time, but they also could have just learned about this from Inuyasha and Kagome. Right.
They probably told him, and also, like, there was probably some discussion when Shippo got this letter, like, oh, hey, this was the situation over there, like, blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay, cool, we're caught up now.
Yeah, exactly. But that's going to do it for this week's episode. Next week, we will be discussing episode number 69. Nice.
Double 69's here.
I know. Double niceness happening.
Nice.
Which is entitled Terror of the Faceless Man.
We're going to learn what a biker is.
Yeah. Apparently, Kagome's friends think Inuyasha is now a delinquent biker. Which is, and there's an image in this episode that proves to be very funny.
Very funny.
Which is very good. But yeah, that's what we'll talk about next week. Faceless Men.
Faceless Men.
But that's going to do it for this time. So if you'd like more from us, head on over to seasonalanimecheckup.com or sac.cool, where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Seasonal Anime Checkup OVA. You can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Anladium, go to anladium.com. She's got columns and reviews. You can follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Anime Checkup, and you can buy our books One Shining Moment, a critical analysis of Love, Life, Sunshine, and Hot Tubs and Pac-Man on Amazon.com. So join us next week as we find out who's this faceless man and why is he faceless.
Yeah.
Where's his face? Did he take his face?
What's a bite?
Off?
Oh my God.